Yes, Top Fuel. Who doesn't love these amazing, ingenuitive motorcycles? Hello, motorcycle fans. Welcome to this CycleDrag.com update. You've come to the right place because we're going to give you a broad perspective and a broad update on some of the racers from coast to coast here in the United States. And we start with Sam Wills and Mitch Brown, a Top Fuel motorcycle team out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Mitch, of course, is from Kansas. Well, right now, this team is testing in Tulsa, Oklahoma, preparing for the big Man Cup event at Dragway 42 coming up this summer in Ohio. By all indications, this team is ready to rock. Mitch, unfortunately, had some problems, hurt his motorcycle with the season opening race in South Georgia Motorsports Park. But Sam and Mitch are on it now. You don't get much rest when you're a Top Fuel motorcycle racer, that's for sure. Stay with us because in a few moments we're going to hear about Sam's very first motorcycle, his first Kawasaki Z-1, I should say. It's a great story about how Sam became a Kawasaki guy when he was originally intending to buy a Harley Davidson. Also, we're going to give you an update on Brandon Hafler and his cool dirt bike that he drag races. We're going to check in on the Timblin Chassis Turbo machine of Kevin Clarke. And we're also going to show you blow-by-blow action from Fontana, California. So sit down and relax if you want to enjoy some pro and sportsman drag bike action coming your way. Let's first take you back to Valdosta, Georgia. This was the season opening race for Man Cup. Mitch Brown in the right lane, Dave Vantine in the left lane. Congratulations to Vantine. He would go on to win the event and run a career best 254 miles per hour. But it was at this event that Mitch Brown damaged his motorcycle. He told me that he hurt a valve, and that is what required the maintenance back at his shop. And that's the reason that he has it out in Tulsa, Oklahoma right now with Sam Wills, testing it, getting it ready for the next race. Let's take a look at Dave Vantine, Mitch Brown here on CycleDrag.
All right, here we go.
Check in with Sam.
Bill Wisnat brings us a special limited edition of the Cycle magazine when the first Z1 came out. Here testing Sam Wills' Top Fuel bike, which as you might notice is about the same colors. And Sam was just telling me an interesting story about his first bike. Sam, tell me again.
Well, this was my first new motorcycle. I had gone to buy a Harley Davidson Sportster from Adamex Harley Davidson in Jacksonville, Florida, and had walked in, and I was a long-haired hippie kid, but I had $100 bills in my pocket, and the Sportster was like $3,500. I couldn't get anybody to even talk to me, much less wait on me. So I walked across the street to the Kawasaki dealer, and they had just unloaded this bike and were putting it together, and it was $18.95. So I bought that subbitch on the spot, and Bo Brockta was the parts manager at the time, and that pissed him off because he wanted it, but he hadn't figured out how to pay for it yet.
So you were probably the fastest guy in Jacksonville that day.
I was that day, no doubt about it.
Great story. Thanks for sharing, Sam.
How great is that, guys? Let's take you to Maryland International Raceway. Congratulations to Kevin Clarke, who won the first ever Pro Extreme Motorcycle, the New Age Funny Bike category. Here is in the final against Rob Garcia. Kevin Clarke nips him at the end. Big congratulations to Walt Timblin, DME, Dan Wagner, and everybody involved. Let's check in with Brandon Hafler and his Honda dirt bike drag bike. This is from Reading Motorcycle Club near Reading, Pennsylvania. It's a 480-foot track, and it is cool. Had the opportunity to visit it last year. Really a lot of fun. They run junior drag bikes. They run a lot of motorcycles like this. Good place to have some fun if you can stop by. Let's watch Brandon. He's getting better every time out. Sounds a little bit more like the Supercross or motocross races, but I absolutely love it. Let's get a look from top end. Look at how beautiful this facility is, guys. Check it out if you can. Reading Motorcycle Club in Oley, Pennsylvania. 480-foot track. Run what you brung. Here comes Brandon. Good job, and congratulations to Brandon for getting his bike back up to snuff after suffering an accident in the burnout box a couple weeks ago. He is back. Let's now take you to Fontana, California. After Hours Racing and Street Racers International. It was the Pro Extreme Western Motorcyclists Association. We saw a ton of Nitro Harleys. We saw a ton of Turbo Busas. It was a pro and sportsman event. We have blow-by-blow coverage right now up on this channel if you want to check it out. But I wanted to focus in on some of the sportsmen and some of the great passes that we have not yet shown you. So enjoy. Let's give you a look through the lanes here. Auto Club Dragway, right across the train tracks from the NASCAR track in Fontana, about 20 minutes from Pomona, California. And we begin with Mr. Scott Oley. This is a great story. Scott, a new Nitro Harley racer. He's been around the sport for a long time, but bought a motorcycle last fall, got licensed at this event after a bunch of practice runs over the winter, and this was his first official race as a competitor. You can see his teammate, his partner, his mentor, Tony Ruggiero, helping to guide him. Guys, got to tell you, getting your start in Nitro Harley is not easy. It's a labor of love, and it's a passion. In the other lane is Greg Justice. Here's another rising star in the Nitro Harley world. Engaged to California Katie Sullivan, who you know from Pro Stock Motorcycle. And coincidentally, Scott Oley is on Justice's former bike. Justice sold a motorcycle to Oley and bought a new motorcycle for himself. And now we have two fast Nitro Harleys out here on the West Coast, too, improving racers. Let's watch him blast off the line. And how cool is this racetrack? Isn't it a cool backdrop, the sound wall? Great turnout of sportsman racers as well. Like I said, we want to focus in and give some of those individuals some love as we take another look at the lanes in Fontana, Auto Club Dragway. Hope you guys enjoy this type of coverage. Please, if you can, subscribe to this channel, CycleDrag. Make sure you like CycleDrag.com on Facebook. CycleDrag is the channel on YouTube. We are steadily growing, and we love bringing you motorcycle drag racing and motorcycle performance coverage from not just coast to coast in the United States, but all over the world. Yes, we are international sometimes. Here comes Craig Brown. This is another individual to keep an eye on.
Out of the Tombo Vincent Engineering Fuel Tech team, another one of the many Turbo Hayabusas that's surfacing. Turbo Hayabusa wheelie bar bikes are really in vogue right now. Let's have a little roll call. Where are you guys watching from? Where are you watching from? We're in Fontana, California. Where are you? A solo shot.
Turbocharged Hayabusa. It's a fast one. Brown, another rider who continues to improve.
739 at 175 miles an hour.
What's cool is we got team coverage, so let's give you another look at the same pass here from a different angle. Thanks so much to everybody that was able to help me out here and give some of these great racers some coverage. This is Craig Brown. This awaits this competitor, as you can see. This competitor that was not able to make the line, but Turbo Hayabusa wheelie bar bikes are coming back, and they're coming back strong. Very popular. A lot of them being built. Let's see what happened here on this launch. Let me know in the comments. What do you think happened? It's so hard to get these drag bikes to hook up. A little bit of a pogo effect for Brown. He would work that out throughout the weekend and end up finishing with a runner-up. Now, where's my Kawasaki KZ fans? I want to show you a really, really cool motorcycle here. This is the 5 561 of Mark Chisholm. It's a turbocharged Kawasaki KZ. Comes all the way from Colorado.
We got the Turbo Kawasaki up against Tony Rogerio. Tony's the promoter for this race.
Rogerio now on his backup bike after he destroyed a crank on the blue bike, his primary bike, on Saturday. Good old Harley versus Kawasaki showdown here.
Rogerio on and off the gas. He goes a 789, 142 left lane. Turbo Kawasaki 881 right lane.
Let's give you another look at the pass. This is so cool that we have multiple angles. And I'd like to know from you, what do you prefer, the Nitro Harley or the Turbo Kawasaki? We've had a lot of different comments and a lot of debate online. The Harley loyalists versus the inline four-cylinder loyalists. Hey, here on CycleDrag.com, if you got two wheels, we love it. Doesn't matter what make it is. We love all motorcycles. We know there's some brand loyalists out there. Fun rivalry. Talk about a great drag race, huh? Side by side. This is a great story too. In case you didn't think big men could fly, check out this team out of the Kings of Africa Compton Motorcycle Club on this Suzuki Katana. It's a 1991 machine that they found for $700, fixed it up, and they brought it out as a team effort. There was a very scary wheelie on this bike the day before that we have chronicled up on this page right now, and we'll get into a little bit later on, but we wanted to show you first round of eliminations. And this is the great thing about motorcycle drag racing is if you have a safe motorcycle, it doesn't matter how fast it is, it doesn't matter what year it is, you can bring it out, line it up, and have some fun. Big man drops the clutch, trying to turn on the wind light. Unfortunately for him, he would not be successful in this particular endeavor. But it will be great to see those guys back. Let's get another look at it. I'd like to know, if you're a racer, what type of motorcycle do you have? And again, guys, this is what's so cool about bracket racing is the individual in the left-hand lane has just as good of a shot to win as anyone. If you can cut a light and run the number, you can win. As you can see there, it's probably a little off his dial due to a bit of a lazy launch. Another competitor was great to talk to. This is Dustin Jansen, who I have not seen since the AMA Pro Star days. Great little NITROUS Pro Mod style drag bike.
This is your call to the lane, please. SoCal, ProCal.
Dustin, another one who puts in a lot of miles, a lot of hours to get to these races. These West Coast races are tough because the racers here are spread out so much more than they are on the West Coast. So a lot of these individuals are traveling 14, 15, 16 hours or more to get to these races. So for those of you watching on the East Coast, definitely spoiled over there, especially in that Maryland, Georgia, India region. A lot of racers in one area. The sweet sound of a NITROUS Pro Mod. Brings us to some of our sportsman action that I'd like to highlight. We had about 40 sportsman motorcycles show up, and I know some of you guys on the East Coast are like, hey man, we get 150 guys in Pro ET. Remember, population density is different out here in terms of motorcycle drag racers, and also the popularity of the sport is different. It's something that we're working on. We're going to try to get more, but there's some real tough racers out here, and here's one of them. Tyler Anderson, left lane, is incredibly tough. Taking on Rob Good. They have similar motorcycles, wheelie bar Hayabusas.
009 left lane.
You hear that? 006 to a 009. Those guys are slicers. Here's another pair that I want to show you. A beautiful white and purple Suzuki GS drag bike in the near lane. That belongs to Noah Penwright, taking on the No Bar machine, left-hand lane. Noah Penwright was doing a lot of clutch maintenance throughout the weekend to get that bike just right. Sure would be cool to get these guys back east for a big race too, whether it be the Man Cup Finals
Left lane.
or one of the NHRA XD events that we have out there. Great competitor here. This is the veteran Kenny Russell on his Hayabusa. Has been drag racing in California for decades. Former street racer. There's a video up right now where he's trying to urge some of his street racing friends to get to the drag strip where it's safe. You have to check that out on the CycleDrag YouTube channel. Makes a lot of great points. Just like the sign says in the back, the wall says race the strip, not the street. Certainly a lot safer. Kenny, a great longtime friend of Tommy Bolton Tombo, having some shifting problems throughout the weekend. Brings us to our next pair. Bruce Lee, near lane. That's a beautiful Suzuki drag bike, GS powered, the Pro Stock style bodywork. Taking on the more naked bike, far side. Bruce Lee nails the whole shot. He'll get there first. Tough field out in Fontana. Another competitor that I'd like to show you here. This is Mr. Steve Polo, rider 700P. Steve getting his Suzuki dialed in, ready to go for a tough day of eliminations at Auto Club Dragway. Now here's another one of the toughest racers out there. He's got a beautiful yellow Turbo GS. They call him Turbo Joe Bajorquez. Near lane. Very tough racer. He's taking on the Harley Davidson V-Rod of Jeff Dara. Far lane. Turbo GS versus a Harley Davidson V-Rod Destroyer. Who remembers the V-Rod Destroyer? Those were cool bikes. Weren't produced for very long, I believe just 1 year. Turbo Joe with a nice crisp pull shot on his GS. There were a lot of fast sport bikes too. A lot of tough competitors. Big shout out to David Morvis, Labbers Harper, Jabber Klomich, William Kimbrough, Jason Tucker, Will Kimbrough, Wilton Kimbrough. There were a ton of great racers out there. I know if any of you East Coast guys or Midwest guys have an opportunity to come out here, you got to. Hey, let's take you to our final. This was the final in the pro category. Tony Ruggiero versus Craig Brown. Look at this, side by side. It was a pedal fest. The Turbo, the Nitro bike. Who's going to win it? The Nitro bike, Tony Ruggiero.
Wow, that was a pedal fest final, guys. 828, 189 miles an hour. The competition goes 837. Congratulations, Craig Brown, but congratulations, Tony Ruggiero. Broke his crank yesterday, and he just won this thing. Big congrats, Tony. Wow. That's what you gotta love about drag racing, guys. Sometimes it's a game of survival. Survive. Outlast your opponent. Congratulations, Tony. He's your winner.
Yeah, big congratulations to Tony. He was in tears back in the pits. The win meant so much to him. And let's take you to our sportsman final. This is the Pro ET final. Turbo Joe versus Tyler Anderson. Turbo Joe, near lane. Tyler Anderson, far lane. Tyler Anderson wins again. He's the bad man. He's the Mike Konopacki. He's the Dustin Lee out here of the West Coast. He wins all the time. Always 00 on the tree with the Suzuki Hayabusa. We have a video up right now with Tyler Anderson where he shares some of his bracket racing secrets. You can find this on that channel. And then, of course, we got to show you a couple more shots of this wild ride. You want to talk about a video that's up right now? Take a look at this one. It's on the CycleDrag YouTube channel called Save of the Year. We'll show you briefly one more time. We have an interview with the rider after this wild experience. Look at that. Kept it on 2 wheels. If you have not seen the full-length video about this wild ride, make sure after this video you check it out on the CycleDrag YouTube page. We got an interview with this gentleman after this pass. He said God was riding with him, and I don't think anybody doubts it after this. How in the world did he save it? Instincts, luck, getting 2 fingers on the clutch, all factors that kept him safe and off the pavement. Really happy to see that he was okay. Give you another close look at Dustin Jansen's awesome NITROUS Pro mod. It's a beautiful bike. Dustin had to do a lot of wrenching throughout the weekend as expected to get this thing dialed in and ready to go. All in all, put in a real good performance. Bike's got a lot of potential. Dustin used to travel to a lot of the East Coast races. As I said, you may remember him from AMA Pro Star, AMA Drag Bike. Says he would like to get back east, maybe thinking about attending the Man Cup Finals if he can make it. Having some issues there. For all my experts out there, what is wrong with that motorcycle? What's the problem? Fuel delivery problem? What was he struggling with?
749, 174 miles an hour.
Also had a couple baggers show up. You know that bagger racing is continuing to grow in popularity and fans like it. And I take it back to an interview that I did with drag racing historian Brett Kempner back in October, where Brett said the sport just continually returns to 2 stock appearing vehicles competing for bragging rights. And I think that's what's going on right now with the bagger scene, is people love the look of these motorcycles. They look like the same ones rolling down the highway, except they're much, much faster. There's a lot of tricks. You got guys like Asim Chaudhry and GMS, Greg Dahl, working to make them fast. George Bryce has entered that market and has been making a lot of noise on Facebook about his advancements, and is doing a great job. Baggers are
Montana,
cool.
California. What do you think of this beautiful
They had about 3 or 4 of them show up.
Serious horsepower.
And these guys are willing to travel as well. There's not a ton of them, but they're willing to travel. Here's another story we got to touch on. This is Mark Avia, Kawasaki ZRX. We're so glad he's okay. Unfortunately, he suffered a crash. That video is coming in days to come on this channel. But definitely make sure you're subscribed, because we will have a full-length feature coming up that shows the accident that this individual suffered on the ZRX and how maybe it could have been prevented. We're going to get into a discussion about blankets and diapers on motorcycles. That'll be coming this week. Good news is he's okay, and here he is racing a very fast drag car right here. Let's see if he can pull it off. This was certainly a better day for Mark. Pretty good race. Also want to give a shout out to a rising star of drag racing, Joe Lucas, the grandson of Forrest Lucas of Lucas Oil and the nephew of Morgan Lucas, made his debut. We're going to have more on him coming up, as he did a great job at Super Comp. But I want to give you a nice close look at this Turbo Hayabusa. Yes, another Turbo Hayabusa funny bike, which belongs to Steve Killingstad. It's a brand new bike, and it's gorgeous. Steve trying to work the bugs out of this thing and get it ready. It's another machine that has so much potential. These Turbo Hayabusa wheelie bar bikes have 5-second potential. I guarantee you we'll watch this video back in a few years, and we're going to see a lot of these competitors in the 5s. Kevin Clarke, who we saw earlier in this video, could very well be the first. His motorcycle went 619, detuned, with Terry Schweigert on it last year at the Man Cup Finals. We saw funny bikes go away for a while, but now they're coming back. Funny bike, of course, is a turbocharged wheelie bar bike. The turbo technology really went to the pro street world, but now we're seeing it in the wheelie bar world. It's coming back. What are your thoughts on this awesome machine?
Very cool machine. What's your name again, sir?
Steve Killingstead.
Nice to finally meet you. This is one of the brand new turbo funny bikes everybody's talking about, huh?
Well, I don't know if they're talking or not, but we'll see.
Tell me a little bit about this combination.
Busa. Just Busa alcohol turbocharged.
How many passes on the bike?
9.
Wow, 9 passes on the bike. So what do you think will be the biggest challenge today as you try to break this thing in?
Track.
Okay.
Not real fond of Fontana, but we'll do the best we can.
Excellent, man. It's a beautiful bike. What was the most difficult part of this build?
I'd say getting it done. You know, get started on something and it always ends up being a little bit more than you think, and just a lot of time.
What type of turbo system do you got here?
It's a Garrett
Okay.
GT35.
It's a beautiful bike. How many horsepower do you think we're dealing with?
Well, I couldn't tell you.
Awesome. Well, good luck, guys. Continue to crank it up. I just wanted to
Thank you,
show
Jack.
everybody this brand new bike, and we can't wait to see it run.
Awesome.
Excellent, guys. That is a
Time,
turbo.
Jack.
You got it, bud. Thank you.
Okay.
Turbo funny bike here. We will show you this bike run. Make sure you...
And we do have some passes from Steve up on this channel as well that you can see. We have the
Very
entire
cool. Well, she sure sounds good. Good luck.
Thanks, Jack.
Guys, we'll show you this bike run. Make sure you subscribe to CycleDrag on YouTube. Make sure you like CycleDrag.com on Facebook, and you will see this bike run. I also want to know, what are your thoughts on the wheelie bar turbo bikes coming back? We're seeing tons of them. Funny bike is coming back.
Let's check in now with Tony Ruggiero. This was earlier in the event. This is the motorcycle that he would end up breaking the crank on. Same motorcycle that entered the NHRA Winter Nationals with Michael Eland riding. Tony checking it out. Tony did a great job pulling this event together as a promoter. Check him out if you're near the West Coast. I know a few of the Harley racers were asking me, will there be more races? Yes, there will. Tony has his whole schedule up on the Pro Extreme, Western Pro Extreme Facebook page. Let's see if we can catch a word with Mr. Tony. Has a great time out there. It's a real family affair for him.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Fontana, California. This is the Nitro Harley of Tony Ruggiero. Hi, Tony. How are you?
Good, man, good.
Last time we saw you, you had some serious damage in Pomona. Are we back together now?
We're back together. That was the first startup on it since Pomona.
Excellent. I know you didn't look 100% confident there a second ago. Anything wrong?
Yeah, fuel system is just going lean.
Okay.
Check the secondary cam. So
Well, good luck. We're excited to be here. This is West Coast drag racing. We got
Yeah.
what, 15, 16 fast
we got
motorcycles?
14 right here, Pro Extreme. So we got 5 fuel bikes and 9 turbo pro mod nitrous badass bikes. So
Awesome, man.
that's
Can't
the
wait
Pro
to see
Extreme,
it.
man. Thanks.
Good luck.
Takes a lot of work to keep these motorcycles going. A lot of work at home in the shop, a lot of work in between rounds. Anybody who's ever tried it or walked the pits can attest to that. As someone once summed it up, drag racing is for people who love work and hate money. Of course, we don't want to be that negative, but in a lot of ways that's true. It's expensive and it's a lot of work, but it's a labor of love. So much passion out there in the pits. Where we'll give you a close look at Scott Oakley's new bike, which, as I said earlier, is the former bike of Greg Justice.
Hey Jack,
How you feeling, bud?
Pretty good. How about
Good to see you.
You too.
Is this the first official race for your team?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. There's the man.
you, Jack.
We got to see you get your license earlier this year. Now you're your first race.
Oh, I'm super excited. A little nervous, but excited.
That's good. It's good to be a little nervous, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. What are you expecting? Everything okay with the bike and whatnot?
Bike is ready to run. We're just going to go out, make a couple of hits, and finish up the license pass, and then get ready for tomorrow.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Scott Oakley, Tony Ruggiero. Ready to rock.
Hope you guys are enjoying a close look in the pits. We're trying to give you some inside access. What I really want to do is, whether you're watching on your smartphone or your computer, I want you to feel like you were at this event. Let's give you some more behind the scenes shots. What's cool about this race, and this is true in a lot of drag racing situations, whether it be cars or motorcycles, it's like a big family affair. It's a big reunion. Everybody gets together, they barbecue after. Let's take a look at Greg Justice, Katie Sullivan's firing up their motorcycles. Katie, by the way, said she would ride it. The trophies from After Hours Racing. Big thanks to Pops and crew for promoting a great, successful event, doing what they can out here on the West Coast. Hey, the CycleDrag.com Hayabusa even cracked into the nines. How about that? Thanks, Trimtex and Brock's Performance. Speaking of Brock's Performance, got to do a feature on this individual. He was all brocked out. Had a cool Hayabusa. Here's another one of the baggers I was telling you about by former NHRA Pro Stock motorcycle racer. CycleDrag stickers all around. We got fans even in California. Shout out to Tommy Bolton. Shout out to the hardworking ladies up in the tower. They had computer problems throughout the weekend, but were able to get through it. How about the old school SR Kawasaki? A close look at Craig Brown's Turbo Hayabusa. Good look at Kenny Russell's machine with the bodywork off. There's Kenny, as we said. Check out his interview. It's up right now. Did a great job with it. Representing Tombo. And here's my friends from Kings of Africa, Compton MC. Pops and his lovely wife barbecuing. Getting a little out of control perhaps, but man, the food was good. Again, this is what we love, the camaraderie, the experience of the drag races. Steve Gold, who took a lot of these pictures. Thank you, Steve, photographer. A little bit of powwow. You see Nigel Patrick, Kathy Mortensen. How about the old school police bike? Who had one of these? A lot of wrenching throughout the weekend, as you may expect. Look at the massive tire of Tony Ruggiero's CP Carrillo Harley. Steve Ruggiero had a problem, and that's a video that's going to be coming soon that you really need to watch out for. Putting that one together as we speak. That'll be out this week. Steve Ruggiero may have had the second greatest save of the year. Daryl and his Pro Fuel Nitro Harley. There's the Suzuki GS that we were talking about earlier. How about a close look now at the Turbo Kawasaki that we were talking about? Plenty of clutch work going on all throughout the weekend. Track racers know that. Pull the clutch, check it out, clean it, get it ready for the next pass. Here's a sneak peek of, unfortunately, what happened to Mark Avia's bike. Again, that will be coming in depth. But big shout out to him. Get well. I know he dislocated 2 shoulders in his accident, but he has recovered nicely and nothing is life-threatening, and we're really happy to hear that. Thank you to all the racers out there for showing some love with the CycleDrag.com decals. Always appreciate that. It seems like I don't have enough decals. I got to even see Kenny O, the cooking pro. Met him at the Pro Star races about 20 years ago, and Joe Koenig's crew. Steve Rice made his return. It's great to see him. Kenny O was hanging out in the Steve Rice pits. Great to meet this gentleman as well. He had an awesome Suzuki Hayabusa. Sat it next to my stock appearing Hayabusa. Gave me some ideas. Pops' son, Pops' wife. Pops' son did a great job helping out, helping to run the races. Craig Brown and his lovely wife and their very cool motorhome. The whole Turbo crew, including your #1 qualifier, Vincent Testa, was there. Look what Turbo Joe does. He has people sign his wall. Reminds me of something the Cookie Man used to do. Even asked yours truly to sign. Was totally humbled over that. Hey, Larry Spider-Man McBride shirts, even out in California. How great is that? Steve Gold, the photographer, doing a great job. Putting in some work. Team APE everywhere. Shout out to Jay. JAPE. That's a beautiful Kawasaki, isn't it? Steve Rice made his return. Great to finally meet John Morgan. Great supporter of the sport. I love this shot. Greg Justice's Nitro Harley. It was a lot of fun, guys. If it looks like fun, come join us. Congratulations to all of our winners. There's Tyler Anderson, the Fuel Tech rep, the very tough bracket racer. There's Turbo Joe, runner-up. Jack Robinson, who's got a shop up in Fresno. And there is the picture of the winner. Big congrats to him. Best appearing club here as well. Shout out to this team. And shout out to my man for keeping this sucker on 2 wheels. Again, guys, this is a must-watch video. It's already up to thousands of views. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hey, finally, we got flat track action coming up. Get well, Steve Huff. He was in an accident, but his team did very, very well. So stay tuned to this channel for an in-depth video on flat track racing from Paris, California. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good one.